So let's start with another topic, and this topic is part of Indian performing arts. So classical, classical dance forms of India. So under music, dance, and drama, and musical instruments. So whenever we use this word classical for any dance or music, what does this mean? Classical? Classical means based on rigid rules and regulations laid down for the past several centuries, and where deviation or improvisation is not at all allowed, while a performer or the artist is strictly adhered to the rules and regulations. So that's why it's called classical. While for regional or for folklore, folk dances, improvisation is easily allowed, could easily be improvised or compromised or altered, but here any classical dance form can never be altered. Rules and regulations are strictly followed, while deviations are always discouraged. And it takes a longer period of time to learn, to have mastery over these classical dance form. And according to an ancient classification of dance forms, and the most important textbook of performing arts in our country, ancient India, is Natya Shastra. Shastra means literature, Natya means drama. A literature for drama. So Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra is the most important textbook for all the artists. So be it theater or dance forms or music. So ancient classification, it follows three different aspects of dance. First aspect of dance is called Natya. Then we have another aspect of dance form, and another aspect of dance called Nritya. And we have third one as well called Nrita. Natya, Nritya, and Nrita. While Natya, as the word itself indicates, Natya means drama or dramatic element in the dance form. So Natya here means dramatic element. While nowadays least emphasis is given on Natya in a dance form. Least emphasis is given on Natya, this aspect of dance, present days, modern days, except for one, except for Kathakali, classical dance form of Kerala. So Kathakali is highly based on Natya, this aspect of dance. So while least emphasis is given on Natya, least emphasis is given on Natya except for Kathakali. While Nritya, which is in fact expressional. Nritya means expressional aspect of dance. And expressional, which means to convey any meaning, to convey the meaning of a theme or idea. To convey the meaning of a theme or idea. So like expressing any sahitya. For example, Shishupal Vad, enslaying of Shishupal by Lord Krishna. So Shishupal was the cousin of Lord Krishna, and finally because of his atrocities, Shishupal was killed by Lord Krishna. So like Shishupal Vad or some other themes from Ramayana or Mahabharata, like enslaying of Ravana by Rama or Hanumanji, any sahitya related to Hanumanji. So it's actually expressional. Nritya is expressional. While third aspect of dance called Nrita. Nrita is a pure dance or abstract dance. Pure or abstract, where body movement does not expresses any mood or emotion. Okay. So according to an ancient classification of dance forms, we have three aspects of dance. First aspect is called Natya, second aspect is called Nritya, and third aspect is called Nrita. While Natya is the dramatic element in the dance form, and Nritya is the expressional, while Nrita is non-expressional. Doesn't convey any meaning or any mood or any emotion. While if a dancer, if an artist is going to express any sahitya or any theme or any emotion like anger, valor, love, disgust, he or she is free to use only two aspects. If you are going to express anything, you are going to adopt only two. That is Natya and Nritya. Nrita being non-expressional cannot be used by the artist to express any mood or emotion or ras or sahitya. It's completely non-expressional. Well, from next paragraph, only two aspects, that is Natya and Nritya, could be used by the dancers to communicate Navras. Navras means nine emotions. Navras, such as wonder, joy, love, peace, compassion, valor, anger, fear, and disgust. Not necessary. Even I don't know the terms. Wonder. क्या बोला है wonder? आश्चर्य. Wonder, joy, love, peace, compassion, valor, anger, fear, and disgust. So actually, this discussion is based on itself, based on CCRT. वहीं से मैटर लिया गया ये, ठीक है ना? CCRT, Center for Cultural Resources and Training, Ministry of Culture, Government of India official website. So while we have three aspects of dance according to an ancient classification, and we have another classification as well. So we have another classification describing various aspects of Natya. Aspects of Natya means first aspect of dance called Natya. Natya, Nritya, Nrita. So we have aspects of Natya as well. And we have two aspects of Natya. First aspect is related to the modes of presentation. Modes of presentation, while another aspect of Natya is related to its style, or which is known as Vritti. Style or Vritti. So modes of presentation, it includes two different modes of presentation: formalized presentation and informal presentation. So formalized presentation is called Natya Dharmi. Formalized presentation is known as Natya Dharmi. Natya Dharmi or formalized presentation. And we have another mode of presentation of Natya called Lok Dharmi. Lok Dharmi, which means regional. Lok Dharmi or regional or informal. So we have formalized mode of presentation of Natya and regional presentation of Natya. And when it comes to the style or vritti of Natya aspect of dance, it includes four different styles. First one is called Kashiki. First vritti or first style of Natya is called Kashiki. Kashiki means lyrical. Kashiki or lyrical. Then there is another vritti called Arbati. Arbati, which means energetic and masculine. Arbati, which means energetic, highly energetic and masculine. Then we have third style called Satvati. Satvati, or which depict emotions. Which depict emotions. And fourth one, which is known as fourth style, is called Bharati. Bharati, or Bharati here means literature like Ramayana, Mahabharat, Geet Govind, Bhagavad Gita, शिशुपाल वध, ये सब आते हैं इसमें भारतीय, और which means literary content. Literary content. Okay. So there are two aspects of Natya. First aspect is related to mode of presentation, and we have two modes of presentation: formalized and informal. Natya Dharmi and Lok Dharmi. And there are four styles related to Natya aspect of dance, and first aspect is called Kashiki, which is lyrical, very lyrical. Second style is actually energetic and masculine called Arbati. Then we have third style called Satvati, which is generally used to depict 9 different emotions, while we have Bharati or our literary content. And apart from this classification of dance forms called Natya, Nritya and Nrita, we have another classification as well. So next one, an ancient classification which is followed in almost all types of dance forms. First one is known as Tando, and this particular dance form called Tando is related to Lord Shiva, the god of destructive forces, destructive potential. So they Tando, which is related to Lord Shiva and is related to destructive forces, and that's why Tando is highly energetic dance form. It takes lot of energy to perform Tando dance form. बहुत vigorous होता है, बहुत जबरदस्त, इसमें बहुत पूरी एनर्जी लगा के डांस करना पड़ेगा. So it's highly energetic and it's masculine as well. It's heroic, masculine, vigorous, energetic. So Tando in masculine means male steps predominates, masculine. Then heroic, bold and vigorous. And another aspect is called Abhinay. Abhinay means dramatic element, Abhinay or dramatic element. And third one, which is called Lasya. While Tando is masculine form and Lasya is feminine, and female steps predominates here in this dance form, the aspect of dance called Lasya. So Lasya is feminine, and being feminine, it's soft, it's lyrical, and it's graceful, dignified, it's graceful dance form. And according to this classification, Abhinay or dramatic element, it can be achieved through 4 different ways. Abhinay can be achieved through Angika, can be achieved. Abhinay can be achieved through Angika. Angika means through the movement of body parts and limbs. Angika. through the body and limbs. So body movement or movement of parts of body, it differs from dance to dance. Like in case of Kathakali, there is the great role of minor body parts, minor body parts like fingers, wrist, eyebrow, eyeball, lower lid. While in case of Odyssey, three movements are very important: neck, shoulder, and torso. Torso, not shoulder. Neck, knee, and torso. While in case of Kathak, full foot control is very important. पैर बिल्कुल सीधे ऐसे पड़ता है, flat ऐसे पड़ेगा. While in case of Kathakali, weight of the body is not equally distributed. Weight of the body is on outer edges of the feet, which is slightly bent. So it depends. It varies from one dance to another one called Angika. And through the body and Angika can be achieved through the movement of body parts and limbs. So we have another one. Dramatic element can be achieved through Vachika. Vachika, bolna, which means songs and speech. And third, which is called Aharya. Aharya, which means costume and adornment, jewelry, costumes and jewelry. While you could easily identify a Kathakali performer. In case of Kathakali, paint is applied on the face. Green paint depicts heroic character like Lord Rama, Lakshman, Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, Jagannath. When there is the combination of red and green, that indicates anti-heroes, but anti-heroes were so brave, they were the warriors and they were learned people like Raman. Raman was considered to be a great warrior. And forest dwellers like Eklavya, forest dweller. तो कथकली में एकलव्य के चेहरे पे ब्लैक पेंट होएगा, तो ये पता चल जाता है. लाइक इन केस ऑफ मोहिनीअट्टम, white or off-white cloths are used by the performer or the dancer. So aharya, which means costume and adornment. And the fourth one, which is called angika, vachika, aharya, and satvika. Satvika here means moods and emotions. Moods and emotions. Okay. So these are the basics or fundamentals of dance forms and classification, in fact. Now start with Bharatnatyam. Bharatnatyam. This classical dance form is based on Natya Shastra. Almost all the important dance forms are based on Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra. So based on Natya Shastra of Bharat Muni and Abhinay Darpan of Nandikeshwar. Abhinay Darpan textbook of Nandikeshwar. While Bharatnatyam itself is based on, steps are based on Natya Shastra of Bharat Muni and Abhinay Darpan of Nandikeshwara. And this dance itself is based on, it includes grace, it includes purity, tenderness, expressions, and also famous for sculptural poses. Famous for sculptural poses. Grace, purity, tenderness, expression, and sculpturous poses. And it includes bhav, bhavam, ragas, ragam, rhythm called talam, and dramatic element called natyam. So based on Bharatnatyam, which is based on bhavam, ragam, talam, and natyam. While Bharatnatyam, it is considered to be fire dance. It's considered to be fire dance. Fire dance here means not not including any kind of firework. So fire dance means expressing metaphysical element of fire of our own body. बोलते हैं ना कि हमारा शरीर कितने तत्वों से बना हुआ है? 5 तत्वों से बना हुआ है, पंच तत्व. और जलने के बाद किसमें विलीन हो जाएगा? पंच तत्वों में विलीन हो जाएगा. तो उसमें एक तत्व आग है ना, अग्नि, फायर. So it is considered to be fire dance, which means expression of metaphysical element of fire in human body. Expression of metaphysical element of fire in human body. While Bharatnatyam is essentially a Harya dance, considered to be a Harya dance form. Ekharya means solo. So usually not performed in groups. Usually not performed in groups. So Ekharya means single, one dancer takes on many roles in single performance. One dancer takes on many roles in single performance. So one dancer takes on many roles in single performance, which means Bharatnatyam dancer, she's going to perform masculine and feminine as well. So it includes lasse and तांडव. देखिए तांडव कर काट लेगा तो हालत खराब हो जाएगी. इसको हमारी एक कॉपी से इतना कहां से आ गया अंदर. लास्य is feminine or feminine, while tando is masculine. So which means many split characters are performed by one dancer, usually female dancers. So while a female Bharatnatyam dancer, she is going to play lasse as well as tandav, which means many split characters. Many split characters performed by one dancer. And we have several patterns of Bharatnatyam. Steps. Patterns means steps of Bharatnatyam. So at next heading, patterns of Bharatnatyam. And altogether we have 5 different patterns or stages of Bharatnatyam. First pattern or first stage is called Alarippu. First stage is called Alarippu, which means to adorn with flowers. वो काट लेगा तो किसी को बुलाइए. तो जाएगा भी नहीं, बड़ा मुश्किल है. वीडियो बनाएगा. देखिए बुलाई जरा किसी को. जी जीव हत्या हो गया ना. महावीर स्वामी कितने दुखी होंगे. Alarippu or to adorn with flowers. So just the beginning of Bharatnatyam dance. First stage is called Alarippu, literally meaning to adorn with flowers. Okay, na? So and it combining dance and recitation of sound syllables. It combines dance and recitation of sound syllables. Recitation of sound syllables here means pronunciation of a phrase from any sahitya. So Alarippu is the beginning, first stage. Alarippu is followed by second stage, which is called Jatishwaram. Well, Alarippu is nothing. Alarippu is the beginning, entry of the dancer on this stage, and invocation of the deity. स्कूल डेज में देखते हैं ना हम लोगों ने प्ले अगर आपने किया होगा तो सबसे पहले क्या करते हैं, सरस्वती वंदना या भगवान की पूजा, भगवान को फूल चढ़ाना, यही करते हैं ना. तो ये वही स्टेज होता है. अलरिप्पु इट्स लाइक इन्वोकेशन ऑफ द deity. It's like offering flowers. And dance itself begins from the second stage called Jatishwaram. While this second stage called Jatishwaram of Bharatnatyam is based on this aspect called Nrita, pure dance or abstract dance. While pure dance or abstract dance doesn't convey any meaning or any mood or any emotion or any sahitya or literature. So Jatishwaram is abstract or pure dance with musical notes of Carnatic music, musical notes of Carnatic classical music of South India. So Alarippu followed by Jatishwaram, and Jatishwaram is the pure dance or abstract dance, which is followed by Shabdam. So Shabdam, ये तो इसी से पता चल रहा है. Shabdam means a dancer is going to express any sahitya. So Shabdam means when dancer expresses sahitya through the movement. Expressing sahitya through the movement. And Shabdam is followed by the most difficult stage of this dance form. Fourth one, which is called Varnam. Varnam. And Varnam is the most important composition. This is the most important composition and it includes simultaneously it includes Nritya and Nrita, which means expressional and non-expressional together. And this is the most difficult part of this dance form, Bharatnatyam. And for this reason, it takes a longer period of time to command these steps, to have command over these steps. बहुत difficult है ये. 20-20, 25-25 साल लग जाते हैं भरतनाट्यम सीखने में, ठीक है ना. So because of this stage, Varnam, and it includes Nritya, which is expressional, and Nrita, abstract or pure or non-expressional. Well, last step or last stage of this Bharatnatyam dance form is called Tillana. So Tilana, well, Tilana is nothing. Tilana, in this stage, meaningless words are pronounced in a rhythmic manner. तो समझ जाते कि अब जाने का टाइम आ गया है, ठीक है ना. So Tilana, right here, meaningless words in rhythmic way or rhythmic manner. Meaningless words in rhythmic manner. There are 5 stages. Savita Shastri, one of the great exponent of this dance form. So performing Bharatnatyam. So metaphysical expression of metaphysical element of fire in our body. इतना ही पढ़ा सकता हूँ इसमें, इससे ज्यादा मेरे बाप दादाओं ने भी कभी डांस नहीं किया होगा. So I have studied history and not dance and drama and music. But this stage is the first one called Alarippu. To add on with, कैसे है ना, हाथ ऐसे लगा हो ना, ऐसे फ्लावर सेट से डालते हैं ना, Alarippu. हाँ, first stage called Alarippu, followed by Jatishwaram, then Shabd, see, Alarippu, to down with flowers, invocation of the deity. Then next stage is Jatishwaram. Jatishwaram is the abstract dance. Jatishwaram is the abstract dance. So while performing Jatishwaram, it's not possible to interpret that part or that stage of dance form. इसमें इंटरप्रिटेशन नहीं होगा, कुछ आप मीनिंग नहीं निकाल पाएंगे, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट डांस है. सो accompanied with Carnatic music, लेकिन म्यूजिक तो आ ही नहीं रहा है. It's non-expressional. म्यूजिक जिम से आ रहा है. म्यूजिक आएगा, कुछ नहीं आएगा, नहीं आएगा भाई. जटिश्वरम इज फॉलोड बाय शब्दम. यहां पे किसके लिए बोल रहे हैं? भगवान कृष्णा प्लेइंग फ्लूट. तो जहां पे आप इंटरप्रेट कर ले जाएंगे ना, वहां पे इंटरप्रिटेशन अपने आप आपको समझ में आएगा कि क्या हो रहा है, एक्सप्रेशन. सो एक्सप्रेसिंग, सो शब्दम मीन्स एक्सप्रेसिंग एनी साहित्य. सो परहैप्स फ्रॉम गीत गोविंद ऑफ जयदेव. म्यूजिक होता तो ज्यादा ही अच्छा लगता है ना. पीछे जो बोल रही ना, ये कह रही कि नयनम मधुरम कटिकम मधुरम, ऐसे पीछे बोल रहा है वो. भूल गया हूं, सब पहले याद था. नयनम मधुरम मतलब आंखें बहुत खूबसूरत हैं, सुंदर है. लिप्स बोल रहे हैं, बड़े ब्यूटीफुल है, ऐसा वो कह रहे हैं। चलिए, क्या हो गया, ये हैंग कर जाता है हमेशा। So next one, famous dancers. Famous dancers. First one, Savita Shastri. Famous dancers, got great exponents. Savita Shastri. Second one, Rama Vaidyanathan. Rama Vaidyanathan. And third one, Sarguja Tagore. Rama Vaidyanathan. Sarguja Tagore. Say Kathakali performance. अभी ऐड आएगा ना, क्या? हाँ, एंड भी हो गया, ये कैसे हो सकता है? क्या होगा? क्या? Kathakali dance form is highly stylized dance form, while emphasis is on the movement of minor body parts like eyebrow, eyelid, and especially eyeball, movement of eyeball. And it includes all the three aspects of dance: Natya, Nritya, and Nrita. Say, movement of minor body parts. Say, eyeball, eyelid, fingers, wrist. क्या कह रहे हैं वो मुझे भी नहीं पता. Carnatic, playing Carnatic music. ब्रास है ना, ब्रास. चलिए, हो गया. चलिए, पेंडिंग. So next one, Katha means story. Kathakali. Bharatnatyam, Tamil Nadu. Kathakali, Kerala. Classical dance form of Kerala. So Kerala, Kathakali as a dance popular today is considered to be comparatively recent origin. However, It is an art which has evolved from many social and religious theatrical forms. Theatrical forms. So underline this part. It's very important. Which has evolved from many social and religious theatrical forms which existed in the southern region in ancient times. Which existed in the southern region in ancient times. So said to be comparatively of recent origin, but based on several other theatrical forms of southern India or South India, such as इसमें आगे लिखिएगा just कौन कौन से theatrical forms of South India? चकियार कुथु, कुडियट्टम, ये पूछा है इस प्रीलिम्स में, कुडियट्टम, कृष्णट्टम and Ramanattam are few of the ritual performing arts of Kerala, which have had a direct influence of Kathakali. Direct influence on Kathakali in its form and technique. Direct influence of on Kathakali in its form and technique. Okay. So of recent origin and evolved out of various theatrical forms of southern ancient India, such as Chakiyarkuttu, Kudiyattam, Krishnattam, and Ramanattam. These are few of the ritual performing arts of Kerala, which have had a direct influence on Kathakali in its present form and technique. And it also includes martial art tradition of Kerala. Martial art tradition of Kerala. क्या बोलते हैं? कलारी पयट्टू, कलारी पट्टू या कलारी पयट्टू. It also includes. ये उसी में ढूंढ लेंगे, इसको रहने देते हैं. Martial art tradition of Kerala. Kalari Payattu. Exactly pronounced Kalari Payattu. It's very, very difficult. The the origin of all martial arts. कहाँ चला गया सर? It's very difficult to learn. Martial art tradition of Kerala. ये क्या है? थोड़े समझ गए ना? Read from next paragraph. Add one more paragraph. मैं भी लिखा रहा हूँ उसको. Okay. In the temple sculptures in Kerala, in the temple sculptures in Kerala and the frescoes, means mural painting, including two different techniques of mural painting called frescoes and tempera. So in the temple sculptures in Kerala and the frescoes in the Mattancherry temple of the 16th century common era, dance scene depicting the square, dance scene depicting the square and rectangular positions, square and rectangular positions so typical to Kathakali are seen. So square and rectangular body position. For body movement, and choreographical pattern, Kathakali is also indebted to the early martial art of Kerala called Kalaripattu. Kalaripattu. ये भी पूछा IAS prelims. Kalaripattu. Next paragraph. Kathakali is a blend of, from next paragraph. Kathakali is a blend of dance, music and drama. Is a blend of dance, music and drama and acting and dramatizes stories and acting. Kathakali is a blend of dance, music and drama and dramatizes stories which are mostly adopted from Indian epics, which are mostly adopted from Indian epics. So while Kathakali borrows Sahitya from so many sources, including Ramayana and Mahabharata, but Bharatnatyam, it, it takes Sahitya only from two epic, Ramayana and Mahabharata, while Kathakali includes large number of Sahitya or literary sources, while Bharatnatyam, it is almost completely based on Ramayana and Mahabharata. वहां पे साहित्य लिमिटेड है, रामायण एंड महाभारत, while Kathakali includes a wide range of sahitya. Right, further, it is it is a it is a stylized art form. It is a stylized art form, comma, the four aspect of abhinay, stylized art form, comma लगाइए, the four aspect of abhinay, the four aspect of abhinay dash, put a dash mark, and what are four aspects of abhinay? Yes, angika, vachika, aharya and satvika. See here, it includes all the four aspects called angika, vachika, aharya and satvika. Angika means expression through the body and limbs, vachika songs and speech, aharya typical costume and adornment, jewelries, and satvika different moods or emotions. Okay? So angika, vachika, aharya and satvika and natya, nritya and nrita, and natya, nritya and nrita aspects are combined perfectly. Natya, nritya and nrita aspects are combined perfectly. The dancer expresses himself or herself. The dancer, right further, the dancer expresses himself through codified hast mudras, through codified, 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 codified hast mudras, HAST, hast mudras, hast mudras means movement of limbs, fingers, wrist, and codified hast mudras and facial expressions. Next point or next paragraph. Kathakali dance is Kathakali dance is chiefly interpretive, chiefly interpretative. Kathakali dance is chiefly interpretative. Interpret करना होगा आपको देख करके. The characters in a Kathakali, the characters in a Kathakali are broadly divided into are broadly divided into Sattvika, Rajasika and tamsika. Sexually, sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Sattvic, like heroes, Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, having sattvic element, pavitra, sacred. While rajasic means a blend of sattvic and tamasic. Tamasic means ग्रे शेड, है ना, एंटी हीरो. तामसिक का मतलब क्या होता है? बुरे, बुरे लोग. और सात्विक मतलब पवित्र, पायस. और राजसिका का मतलब दोनों का ब्लेंड हो, जो थोड़ा वॉरियर भी हो, विद्वान भी हो, लेकिन वो थोड़ा सा विकेट भी हो, थोड़ा सा दुष्ट भी हो, दोनों का ब्लेंडिंग हो. तो सात्विका, राजसिका एंड तामसिका टाइप्स. In, from next paragraph, in Pacha, it's a pattern of paint applied on the face. In Pacha, comma, green color predominates and किरीट, किरीट, वो जो सिर के ऊपर मुकुट पहना ना, हेड गियर, किरीट is worn by all, and Krishna and Rama wore special crowns decorated with peacock. So Pacha, it depicts heroes, Rama and Krishna. So next one, the Kathi, Pacha, and we have another one called Kathi. So the Kathi type depicts anti-heroes, villains. Kathi type depicts anti-heroes of huh? Kathi type depicts anti-heroes of Rajasika category. Rajasika category. They are sometime great warriors and scholars. Kati is a blend of anti-heroes, blend of Satvika, Rajsika, and Tamsika. So while Satvika, pious characters, Rajsika, blend of pious and grey shade. तो इसमें कलर का भी ब्लेंडिंग होगा, रेड एंड ग्रीन. So while red and green colors are applied on the face of a character, means depicting any particular Rajasika character, like Raman, Kans, Shakuni, Shishupal, वो लोग, ठीक है ना, scholars, warriors and scholars, such as Duryodhan, a great warrior. Duryodhan himself was a great warrior, लेकिन अच्छा भी है और बुरा भी है. Raman, Kans and Shishupal. So Pacha, then we have Kathi. Next one, the characters of Thadi. Thadi category. इस पे टेक्निकल डांस फॉर्म थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल है. Thadi means दाढ़ी, beard. मलयालम में ना, केरला में लैंग्वेज मलयालम है, तो मलयाली में थाड़ी दाढ़ी. So the characters of Thadi category includes three. Chuvana Thadi, Vella Thadi. मजेदार है ना, कभी कभी तो हम लोग साउथ इंडिया पढ़ते ही थोड़ा थोड़ा. चुवना थाड़ी, वेल्ला थाड़ी, करुत्ता थाड़ी. Chuvana Thadi means red beard. Vella Thadi, white bearded characters. जैसे हनुमान जी को जब भी स्टेज पे दिखाएंगे ना, तो सफेद दाढ़ी वाला ऐसा लगा के दिखाएंगे, और वो मंकी वाले कॉस्ट्यूम में होंगे, होगा कैरेक्टर जो डांसर होगा. और करुत्ता थाड़ी मीन्स ब्लैक बियर्ड. कितने हो गया? 3 हो गया ना. पाछा क्या डिस्कस हम लोगों ने? पाछा, देन काठी and Thadi. And right, fourth one, Kari are characters. Kari are characters whose makeup have a, Kari means black, kala, whose makeup have a black base. They wear black costume depicting a hunter or forest dweller. जैसे ये महाभारत में एक कैरेक्टर है ना, एकलव्य. तो एकलव्य was a forest dweller, निषाद, and he belonged to a hunter community. So while he himself was a very good archer and he wanted to be the best, so one day he had approached Guru Dronacharya, who was appointed to train, to impart knowledge of archery, knowledge of operating sword and mace to the Pandava and Kaurava Rajkumars or princes. So while he had approached Guru Dronacharya, Guru Dronacharya refused to impart knowledge of archery because he belonged to a lower community, Shudra. And Shudras during the later Vedic period were not entitled to have education. Even they were not entitled to wear sacred thread called जनेऊ. तो अगर एकलव्य को वो पूरा प्ले कर रहे होंगे डांसर्स, तो एकलव्य को जब दिखाया जाएगा तो चेहरे पे ब्लैक मेकअप होगा, तो वो पता चल जाएगा कि ब्लैक वाला जो वो कैरेक्टर है वो इंटरप्रेट करना होता है. इस इंटरप्रिटेटिव डांस फॉर्म. So hunter or forest dweller. And next one, in no other dance style is the entire body used so completely in Kathakali. In no other dance style is the entire body used so completely as in Kathakali. The technical details, the technical details cover every part of body. The technical detail cover every part of the body from facial muscles to from facial muscles to fingers, from facial muscles to fingers, eyes, hands and wrists. The facial muscle play the facial muscle play an important part. The facial muscle play an important part. The movement of the eyebrows, the movement of the eyebrows, the eyeballs and the movement of the eyebrows, the eyeballs and lower eyelids are not used are not used to such an extent are not used to such an extent in any other dance style are not used to such an extent in any other dance style. Full stop. Right, further. The weight of the body is the weight of the body is on outer edges of the feet. The weight of the body is on outer edges of the feet, which are slightly bent and curved, which are slightly bent and curved. Say, it's movement of eyeball, eyebrows, eyelids and lips. Say, वो म्यूजिक के साथ चल रहा है आई बॉल का मूवमेंट. जैसे जैसे म्यूजिक तेज होगा आई बॉल भी मूवमेंट भी तेज होगा. It's highly difficult to command over minor body parts. It's an facial muscles. See, Kathakali, Duryodhan Vadham. So depicting Duryodhan Vadham. इंटरप्रेट करना होता है इसमें मुसीबत यही होती है. ये देखिए नाक पे गोल गोल लगा हुआ है सफेद सफेद, और एक यहाँ पे, इसको बोलते हैं चुट्टीपू। चोटी है ना, छोटी चुट्टीपू। आई डोंट नो दैट, इतना ही बहुत है पढ़ना। इधर बैठ। दुर्योधन वध में हनुमान जी कहाँ होंगे? कहाँ का कहाँ ले जा रहे हैं? दुर्योधन वध तो महाभारत में, हनुमान जी तो रामायण में। नाराज हो जाएंगे प्रभु हनुमान, छोड़िए। चलिए लिखिए। राइट, नेक्स्ट वन, स्टेजेस ऑफ कथकली। Stages of Kathakali. First stage is called Todayam. Todayam. Todayam is actually devotional number. Wait, invocation of the deity. ना अलरिप्पू जो भरतनाट्यम उसमें था ना, अलरिप्पू, तो यहाँ पे तोडायम बोलते हैं। तोडायम डिवोशनल नंबर which is performed with one or two characters to invoke the blessing of the god. To invoke the blessings of the god. Todayam. Todayam is followed by Kelikottu. Kelikottu मतलब formal announcement. Formal announcement of the performance. And drums and cymbals. Cymbals समझते हैं वो? डफली। ऋषि कपूर ऋषि कपूर हमेशा जो गाने में बजाते थे वो सिंबल है। CYMBL, symbol. Duffly tabla test. Formal announcement of the performance done, and drums and cymbals are played for a while. दिल पे ले लिए तो drums drums and cymbals. Third one, Purappadu. Purappadu, and Purappadu is a pure Nrita dance. Pure Nrita dance means non-expressional, which is followed by ये याद रखना पड़ेगा आप लोगों को, Milappada. Then musicians and drummers hold this stage. Musicians and drummers hold this stage, entertaining the audience. ठीक है ना? While The most important part of Kathakali is Tiranokku, debut on the stage, entry of the characters on the stage, a debut of this on the stage of all characters. Thereafter, thereafter, play or the particular scene of the chosen play begins. यहां से शुरुआत हो रही है लास्ट स्टेज में, है ना. सो तिरनोक्कू, ये एक्सप्रेसिंग साहित्य, expressing any particular drama, साहित्य, or any mythological story or any mythological event. तो यहां से जैसे दुर्योधन वध है तो कहां से शुरू होगा, यहां से शुरू ही होगा दुर्योधन वधम, फिर सब लोग इकट्ठे आएंगे, युधिष्ठिर, अर्जुन, भीम, भीष्म पितामह, द्रोणाचार्य, सब पता नहीं क्या जो भी कैरेक्टर्स हैं, ठीक है ना. तो कितने 5 स्टेजेस हो गए ना. फर्स्ट स्टेज इज कॉल्ड Todayam. Todayam is devotional number followed by Kelikottu, while Kelikottu is the formal announcement of the performance. Third part, Purappadu is a Nrita dance, while Purappadu is followed by Milappada, which means entertaining the audience, while finally play begins. So it's called Tiranokku, debut on the stage of all the characters. Thereafter, play on the of the particular scene of the chosen play begins. Okay. So Bharatnatyam from Tamil Nadu, Kathakali from Kerala, and next one, third one, Kathak. Kathak, which is derived from saying Katha. Kathak, Uttar Pradesh. And Kathak, it includes music, dance, and narratives. Music, dance, and narratives. Okay, so well, Kathak means saying katha. Saying katha, कि जैसे अब मान लीजिए आप लोग बैठे हुए गांव वाले हैं, मैं कथा बोल रहा हूं, है ना. ऐसी कोई कथा कह रहे हैं कि लक्ष्मण मूर्छित पड़े हुए हैं और उनको जड़ी बूटी चाहिए, तो फिर पता चलता है कि हम हिमालय पे कहीं संजीवनी बूटी है. तो कैसे संजीवनी बूटी आए, तो किसी को समझ में नहीं आता, हनुमान जी बोलते हैं मैं लाता हूं, वो जाते हैं और पूरा पहाड़ी उखाड़ लाते हैं, तो उसपे से फिर जो वैद्य होते हैं वो संजीवनी बूटी निकाल लेते हैं. तो ये तो सिर्फ कथा हुआ, मजा नहीं आया, है ना. अगर इसमें एक्ट किया जाए, लाइक हनुमान जी, so he went all the way towards the Himalaya and then he bring along with himself that mountain, और वो सब पूरा प्ले करके जब बताया जाएगा तो उसी को फिर जेस्चर्स बोलेंगे ना. सो कथक, it was based on oral tradition of saying katha during the Middle Ages, while steps or gestures, postures were added later on during the subsequent ages to make recitation more meaningful and more effective. And around 15th century common era, there was the emergence of Ras Leela in the Braj region, Mathura, Agra, and adjacent areas, and that played a very important role in the development of Kathak. While like Mirabai, Nandadas, Surdas, Devdas, uh, saints, devotees of Lord Krishna, तो इन लोगों ने काफी कंट्रीब्यूशन किया. बट कथक एज अ डांस फॉर्म took place at the court of the Mughals, or in fact later Mughal rulers, and also at the court of Nawabs of Awadh. वहां से ये एक डांस फॉर्म में आया, उसी को उसको क्या बोलते हैं, कथक डांस फॉर्म. सो राइट, फर्स्ट पॉइंट, Kathak, which is based on oral tradition of saying katha or recitation from epics, myths and legends. Oral tradition of saying katha or recitation from epics, myths and legends. Second point, gestures were added later on to make recitation more effective. To make recitation more effective. Third point, it was mainly centered around Radha Krishna theme and Vaishnavite cult of 15th century. Mainly centered around Radha Krishna theme and Vaishnavite cult of 15th century contributed a whole new range of lyrics and musical form. So Kathak started taking shape as a dance form only during the 15th century Common Era and onwards. While when Kathak was mainly patronized by the later Mughal rulers during the 18th centuries and the Nawabs of 17th and 18th centuries and the Nawabs of Awadh. So then only this emerged as a proper dance form. So including lyrics and musical form. Next point, emergence of Ras Leela in the Braj region. Emergence of Ras Leela in the Braj region was an important development was an important development and the and later Mughal rulers and Nawabs of Awadh contributed a lot in this sphere. See, one of the greatest exponent of Kathak dance form, Pandit Birju Maharaj from Banaras Gharana. See, if you observe this dance form, weight of the body is always equally distributed along the vertical and horizontal axis. इसका मतलब है जो बॉडी के कर्व्स हैं, बेंड्स हैं, उनका इस्तेमाल नहीं होता है. See, weight of the body is always distributed along the horizontal and vertical axis, while full foot control is very important. मतलब पैर बिल्कुल सपाट पड़ेगा, कर्व नहीं लेगा थोड़ा भी, ठीक है ना. See, there is no deflection of curves or bends of the body. And there is another technical detail called spinning or twirling, TWIL, twirling, 360 degree movement. बीच बीच में देखिएगा पूरा घूम जाएंगे, ये कथक की पहचान. और एंकल एल्स, घुंघरुओं की आवाज पे पूरा कंट्रोल होगा. जिसका इंटरेस्ट होता है उनको बहुत मजा आता है. लोग हजारों रुपए खर्च करके टिकट लेके जाते हैं पंडित बिरजू महाराज को देखने. Like next heading, characteristics of Kathak. Characteristics of Kathak. First one, weight of the body is equally distributed weight of the body is equally distributed along the horizontal and vertical axis. Along the horizontal and vertical axis. Second point, full foot control is of prime importance. Full foot control is of prime importance. Third one, no deflection and no use of sharp bends or curves. No deflection or no use of sharp bends or curves. Fourth one, Nrita, Nrita, Nrita or pure dance is all important nrita or pure dance is all important, and effects are created through and effects are created through the use of effects are created through the use of flat feet flat feet and control of control of sound of ankle bells ghungru and control of sound of ankle bells worn by the dancers. WORN, worn by the dancers. Next one. The dance the dance commences with a soft gliding movement, with a soft gliding movement of neck, of the neck, eyebrows, and the wrists. Neck, eyebrows, and the wrists. And last one is spinning or twirling, TWIRL. Spinning or twirling is the most important aspect of this dance. Is the most important aspect of this dance. So Kathak from Uttar Pradesh. Next one, Odissi, classical dance form of Odisha. So while Odissi is a religious kind of dance, while we were discussing about the temple architecture, and under the Nagara style of temple architecture, we have discussed three regional variations. So temples of Central India, temples of Western India, and temples of Eastern India, including the temples of Odisha, then Assam and Bengal. While in the temples of Odisha, तो उनका जो बेसिक प्लान था बिल्कुल वैसे ही था. And Odisha temples are the best example of Rekha Prasad type of temple. So having curvilinear, shikhar and circular amlak. Square base called sanctum, sanctorum or Garbha Griha. But in the Odisha temples, Garbha Griha is called Deul. And supporting structures like Mandap and Ardha Mandap called Natya Mandir and Bhog Mandir. Assembly halls called Natya Mandir and Bhog Mandir. Natya Mandir here means dancing hall and Bhog Mandir means dining hall. To feed the deity, to entertain the deity and to feed the deity. While in this Natya Mandir of Odisha temple, there emerged a dance form which is nowadays known as Odissi classical dance form. So it's mainly a religious dance form originated from the temples of Odisha. Okay, so it's a religious kind of dance. Originated from the temples of Odisha, mainly dedicated to Radha, Krishna, and Radha Krishna cult. And Jagannath philosophy. So, well, at the Nat Mandir, female dancers were appointed, called, so female here, female dancers, called महरी. वो आप लोग जानते हैं ना देवदासी ट्रेडिशन, यहीं से ना देवदासी ट्रेडिशंस. So महरी from देवदासी tradition, female dancers. They were originally temple महरी. They were temple dancers. So while later on, so in the beginning, uh, in the temples, dance was performed by Mehris or Devdasis. And later on, Devdasis were also appointed at the court of the kings. And from there and onwards, this dance form started degrading or declining. Then a group of boys was prepared to further carry forward pure aspects or pure steps of this dance form. कुछ लड़कों को सिलेक्ट किया गया, उनको सिखाया गया कि आप लोग मंदिर में जाके डांस करो. So over a period of time, three different styles originated under this dance form. First style developed into the temples, into the Nat Mandir, called Mehri tradition. Another tradition developed at the court of the kings, called नर्तला. नर्तला स्टाइल में यही देवदासी होती थी, उनको कोर्ट में अपॉइंट कर दिया जाता. और कुछ लड़कों को जब ट्रेंड किया गया डांस करने की, उसको बोला गया गोतीपुआ, GOTIPUA, गोतीपुआ. So we have three forms of Odisha dance form, Odissi dance form. So right there, forms of Odissi dance form or subforms. First one, which is called Mehri. Second one, Nartala. And third one, Gotipua. So, Mehri, so for centuries, Mehris were the chief repositories of this dance. So they tended to preserve this dance form with extreme purity. इन्होंने अच्छे से प्रिजर्व करके रखा मंदिरों में this dance. They were Mehris. They were originally temple dancers, while Nartala, when this sub style emerged, when temple dancers were employed at the royal court, which led to degeneration, of this art form started. So from there and onwards, this dance form started degenerating, degrading, गड़बड़ होने लगा यहाँ से. तो फिर गोतीपुआ को ट्रेंड किया गया. गोतीपुआ मीन्स अ class of boys were trained in the art and they danced in the temples and also for general entertainment. Okay, na? So like other classical dance forms like Bharatnatyam. So actually Odissi dance form is closely as it resembles like Bharatnatyam. दोनों के स्टेप्स मिलते जुलते लगते हैं क्योंकि दोनों ही भरत मुनि के नाट्य शास्त्र को एकदम क्लोजली फॉलो करते हैं. ठीक है. सो राइट हियर highly stylized dance form based on नाट्य शास्त्र of भरत मुनि and देखिए दोनों एक ही किताब में, दोनों किताबें ना वहां पे भी थी ना, नाट्य शास्त्र ऑफ भरत मुनि एंड अभिनय दर्पण ऑफ नंदिकेश्वरा. हालांकि कुछ और टेक्स्ट बुक में, लेकिन इतना रहने देते हैं ना. एंड ऑफ कोर्स एंड 12th सेंचुरी गीत, ये तो लिख ही डालते हैं, गीत गोविंद ऑफ जयदेव. All the 10 incarnations. The Sujata Mahapatra, so great dancer. ये क्या आने लगा फिर नेटफ्लिक्स. So female steps predominates here. इन ये ज्यादा फेमिनाइन है. Lyrical, feminine, soft. And technical details centered around two body posture. See, body posture imitating square. Body posture imitating square is called chalk. CHOWK chalk. And chalk तो ये हो जाएगा masculine body position while imitating square is masculine step. Then movement of neck, गर्दन देखते हैं ना कुछ कुछ डांसर्स ऐसे ऐसे पूरा गर्दन दाएं बाएं हो जाता है. नेक, हाँ वैसे. नेक, torso this part, neck, torso and knees called त्रिभंगा. वो ज्यादा मूवमेंट होगा तो वो फीमेल स्टेप हो जाएगा, फेमिनिन. सो मैस्कुलिन एंड फेमिनिन कॉल्ड चॉक and Tribhanga, 3 body parts. So next heading, technical details. So built around two basic posture. So techniques of the movement are built around two basic postures. First posture is called chalk, and another posture is called tribanga. So chalk means body position imitating a square. Body position imitating a square, a very masculine posture with weight of body is equally distributed. Body position imitating a square, a very masculine posture with weight of body is equally distributed. While tribanga means it includes movement of neck, torso and knees, and this being very feminine, है ना? So while very feminine, which means deflection, and it includes deflection of neck, torso and knees, and avoidance of hip and shoulder movement. ठीक है ना? So very feminine, deflection of neck, torso and knees, but no deflection of hip or shoulder movement. ठीक है? देखिए knee movement बहुत है, neck, torso and knee movement, well avoidance of shoulder and hip movement. ये ओपनिंग आइटम है, मंगलाचरण, इसको यहाँ पे मंगलाचरण बोलते हैं, इसे है ना, इन्वोकेशन ऑफ द deity. तो यहाँ पे deity कौन होंगे? जगन्नाथ, लॉर्ड ऑफ द यूनिवर्स। जगन्नाथ के साथ बलराम और सिस्टर सुभद्रा। देखिए ना, बॉडी पोजीशन इमिटेटिंग स्क्वायर। चलिए स्टेजेस। स्टेजेस, फर्स्ट वन while opening item is called Mangalacharan. ठीक है ना? Followed by invocation of the deity, and third aspect is very important, it's called Batu or Nrita, which means pure dance, Batu or Nrita, so pure dance, and it includes duality of masculine and feminine through basic stances of chalk and tribanga. So pure dance or Batu is followed by Abhinay or dramatic element. So next fourth stage is called Abhinay, which means dramatic, including dramatic element. And fifth one, end through a medium of dance called moksha dance. Moksha means end. Okay. Then कितने हो गए? 4 ही हुए. 4. Fifth one, बस यही 4 बड़े बड़े थे, ज्यादा टेक्निकल, बाकी थोड़ा थोड़ा. Satriya, it's not Kshatriya, Satra. Satra means Vaishnav Mutt. So from Assam, originated during the 15th century Common Era. And Sattriya dance form is now included in the list of classical dance form, and it was introduced by Vaishnav sect of 15th century Assam named Sankardev, while it was nurtured and preserved with great commitment by the Satras or Vaishnav Mutt. And it is influenced by local folk dances of northeastern region, influenced by local folk dances of Assam and adjacent areas. So Satras, and then next one, Manipuri, another classical dance form from northeastern region, है ना? Satriya and Manipuri. So Manipuri from classical dance form of मणिपुर. तो एक तो केरला हो गया जहां से 2 है, और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन से केरला से 2 है, कथकली एंड मोहिनी यट्टम. इसमें लिखिए, मणिपुरी में लिखिएगा. This dance is associated with Manipuri dance is associated with rituals and traditional festivals. Rituals and traditional festivals. Second point, associated with dances of associated with dances of Shiva and Parvati, dances of Shiva and Parvati and other gods and goddesses, and other gods and goddesses who are associated with who are associated with creation of the universe, creation associated with creation of the universe. Third point, Lai Haroba is the earliest form of dance. Lai Haroba is the earliest form of dance. This dance, Manipuri dance, which forms the basis of which forms the basics of all stylized dances of Manipur, which forms the basics of all stylized dances of Manipur. Literal meaning of Lai Haroba is literal meaning of Lai Haroba is merry making of the gods, भगवान को प्रसन्न करना, merry making of the gods. Next point, देखिएगा. The principal performers are the principal performers are the Maibas and Maibis. Maibas and Maibis, which means priests and priestesses. In bracket, priests and priestesses. Right, last point. Congregational singing, congregational एक साथ singing, ये अभी prelims में आया था. Congregational singing accompanied by the dance, congregational singing accompanied by the dance, which is known as Sankirtan, SAM, which is known as Sankirtan. While male dancers play the pung म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट, पुंग. अभी एक मूवी में क्या कौन सा गाना आया था, सलमान खान की मूवी थी, तो उसमें गाने में बोलता है प्यार की पुंगी बजा के. तो पुंगी नहीं है वो, पुंग इज एक्चुअली पुंग, म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट पुंग. एंड करतल, करतल, करतल मतलब ताली बजाना, हाथ से आवाज करना. एक और लिखिए, दो अभी बचा हुआ है. नेक्स्ट वन, बस दो दो चार चार लाइन लिखेंगे, ज्यादा नहीं. कुचिपुड़ी, classical dance form of, yes, AP Andhra Pradesh, which is derived from Yakshigan, and it was revived by Siddhendra Yogi during the 17th century, while it is centered around Radha Krishna cult, while footwork control and balance of body and acrobatic dancing. ये इसमें देख तो सर पे तीन तीन चार चार घड़ा रख के डांस कर लेते हैं ये लोग, पानी भरा हुआ घड़े. Acrobatic, it's like acrobatic dance form. And musical instruments, including violin, flute, and tambura. एक रह गया बस, लास्ट में लिखिएगा मोहिनी यट्टम. मोहिनी मीन्स ब्यूटीफुल लेडी. Kerala. So while Mohiniyattam is essentially a solo dance and performed by female dancer, but nowadays also performed in groups. And originated as a love and devotion towards Krishna and Vishnu. Well, next point पे लिखिएगा feminine steps predominates accompanied by Carnatic music and dancer wears either white or off-white costumes and great exponents including Gayatri Govind, Lilamma, Sunanda Nair, Satyabhama, Smita Rajan, and many others. हो गया ना डांस फॉर्म्स. चलिए रहने देते हैं इतना, ब्रेक लेते हैं फिर डिस्कशन करेंगे, टेस्ट और डिस्कशन. एक मिनट बोल गया. होमवर्क लिखिए कल के लिए और एकदम पढ़ के आइएगा, बिना पढ़े तो आइएगा ही मत. मैं बताता हूं. एक टेक्स्ट बुक, बिपिन चंद्रा, इंडिया स्ट्रगल फॉर इंडिपेंडेंस. मैं चैप्टर नंबर बोल रहा हूं. India's struggle for independence. Chapter number 5, fifth chapter. Foundation of Indian National Congress, the reality. Foundation of INC, the reality. Chapter number 7, and an economic critique too of colonialism. Chapter number 8, fight to secure press freedom. Chapter number 10, जितना पढ़ पाएगा उतना ही पढ़ेगा ना, मैं लिख रहा हूं बस. दी वैसे 3-4 चैप्टर तो हो जाएगा. द स्वदेशी मूवमेंट, द स्वदेशी मूवमेंट. सो कल इतना तो पढ़ के आएगा एटलीस्ट. थोड़ा रहेगा ना म्यूजिक, वो कल 1 घंटे में करा दूंगा. Foundation of INC, the reality, and economic critique, at least these 2 chapters. And if possible, cover up all the 4 chapters. An essential. पहला 5th and 7th बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अगले 4 दिनों में आपको कम से कम 15 चैप्टर खत्म करना है बिपिन चंद्रा का. बिपिन चंद्रा, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट बिपिन चंद्रा, इंडिया स्ट्रगल फॉर इंडिपेंडेंस, एंड नॉट एनी गाइड बुक. Not any guidebook. Proper textbook. Not a spectrum. Not talking about a spectrum or any other guidebook. Proper textbook. Just go through proper textbook. Otherwise, you are not going to solve any question related to freedom of struggle. Guidebooks are merely for revising your content. And Spectrum guidebook is nothing but copy of Bipin Chandra's India's struggle for independence. Okay, na? So last time when my student, she secured 4th rank, सौम्या पांडे, उसने पूरा मैंने जैसा जैसा सजेस्ट किया था सब कुछ उसने पढ़ा था. So just follow all the instructions. So work hard and you are going to get any rank in this examination. And then top 20, top 50. मेरा पढ़ाया हुआ स्टूडेंट अब तक top 5 में 2 हैं. Second rank सुप्रीत सिंह गुलाटी IITN and 4th ranker सौम्या पांडे. फर्स्ट रैंक मेरे पास अभी तक नहीं है, खाली है. देखिए कौन लगाता है आप में से. पता नहीं होता किसी को भी किसका रैंक आता है किसका नहीं आता. ठीक है, बस आप पढ़ते रहिएगा. चलिए ठीक है.